always tell people is like, let me be your trusted jeweler. Let me be your go-to guy. Let me answer any questions. Let me give you product knowledge. And that's something a lot of a lot of jewelers didn't do before, was inform people on what exactly they're buying. I just literally gave my keys to one of the key holders, and they thought I was going on. She said, "Oh, we'll see you when you get back." I was like, "Nah."
How did having a daughter change your life?
She motivated me to be more. She motivates me to be more, to always be better, to give. I don't necessarily say give her the life that I never. It gave me purpose. It gave me reason.
Come in here, it looks professional. Tune into the content.
Welcome back, everybody, with another episode of Direct Discussions Podcast. The podcast dedicated to deep dive into individuals just like you. Today, we got a very special guest on our hands, but first, let me introduce you to David.
Welcome back, everybody, to the episode of Direct Discussions. Hopefully, you're tuning into all of our content. And if you're not, you need to be, and check out Open Discussions Thursdays live at 7 p.m. Let's get into our guest today. Our guest today is none other than Miggi The Jeweler. Let's go. Or should I say Biggie The Jeweler? All right. Biggie the Jeweler. That's cool.
Yo, chill out, bro. My homeboy's over here. You know, he's too busy, bro. He's busy, bro. You know, he making moves. You know, he can't be in the gym like that, bro. Chill out. All right. I feel you, bro. I'm the same fucking way.
That's funny. Hey, so real quick, how are you doing today? Like, how are you doing today? Today's Tuesday. We're recording this.
Great. I had a productive day at the store, man. Had 3 clients come in specifically for like things that they had in mind, so it was like a smooth flow. It's easier when somebody knows what they're wanting rather than just be like somebody's like, oh, I don't know, I just came by and look. I'm like, okay, and I have to kind of dig down and find it, but they kind of knew what they wanted, they just weren't sure. So I was like, okay, well, we know what direction to go with the sell, so we'll explore those options and go from there. But
yeah, my first question, bro, is how much of your personal brand is a reflection of who you are as a man?
That was deep.
Yeah, straight into it. That's
straight into it, man. No pause there is. No slow into it.
Hey, bro, the people gotta know, man.
Yeah, we do gotta know.
How we record this? Being a man in my brand.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to say it's. I'll give an example, right? So, jewelry for I don't want to say the longest time because before. It's crazy.
That's because you were working at Gucci before then, right?
I was. Yeah. So higher end retail, I've always had experience for about over 10 years. But I guess it would depend on where you're from, right? So for Texas, you think for guys what they shop is boots. Some things are durable, like
belt buckles,
big trucks, big all everything like that. And so with jewelry, I feel like it's coming into an age, I got to say again, because you think Egypt, people, they wore gold all the time. The Renaissance, they wore, jewelry. It was as a sign of luxury. I feel like that it's incorporated more for men now as much as it is important to women because, the saying is like, diamond's a girl's best friend or whatever like that. But, I mean, with changing cultures, changing trends, changing styles, fashion, and everything like that. So, it really doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. If you want to look good with some jewelry, you want to look good with some bling, rock it out type of thing. Because it's kind of like a 2-part question since you asked it.
Yeah.
For me, like I said, I worked at Gucci. I worked before that, I used to work at Coach. I used to work at True Religion, so I had all these high-end retails. Fashion's always been a thing for me. I'm from a small town, Wichita Falls, which is about like 2.5 hours north.
Kansas, right?
No.
No, you did it. You did the thing that everybody. There's not Wichita, Kansas, Wichita, Texas. Wichita Falls, Texas, which is in Texas, still in Texas. It might be 10 minutes away from the Oklahoma border, but it's still in Texas.
It's funny because I wanted to correct him before because I saw it in his notes and I was like, nah, I'm gonna let that one go.
Yeah, I was trying to be quick with it.
There's an episode of King of the Hill that they're trying to bring, because back in the 90s, the Dallas Cowboys training camp used to be in Wichita Falls, and one of the episodes was Hank trying to convince the Dallas Cowboys to move to Arlen, Texas, which is I'm pretty sure short for Arlington.
Yeah.
And they go into this store and they're talking about this one guy, and he's like, we don't like them Cowboys. We're 10 minutes away from the great state of Oklahoma. And he's like, go Sooners. I'm like, man, they talk down our city so bad, but it's so fun. But I'm still repping Texas all day, every day.
Yo, what you call it? You notice, you saw that they're going to come out with a new King of the Hill where Bobby's like 21 and then
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Hell yeah.
That'd be dope.
That'd be smart,
I have to check it, bro.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, King of the Hill. I grew up fucking with, what's that shit called? Malcolm in the Middle and shit, bro. Hell yeah.
Invader Zim was my stuff. Right
Invader Zim, man, they only had like 2 seasons. It was so short. I'm so mad about that.
Yeah, but I mean, you think about it, Nickelodeon were just pushing out shows after shows, and then for most shows, you know, you get 50 episodes, and that's about it.
But they were good though. A lot of the shows they were throwing out were good shows. I felt like.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. Maybe Dan Schneider had his hand in the wrong pants or whatever.
For sure. Hey, Dad Schneider. Hey.
They didn't start saying no Schneider instead of no Diddy. Both of them.
Right?
Hey, no Schneider. No Schneider. Hey, we started.
All right, shit.
Hashtag no Schneider.
Yo, let's go.
Real quick. So, I know you said that, but why would you go from all these other designer brand sales that you were doing and then go into jewelry? Like, you know, you're going from Gucci. Gucci's, you know, top of the line luxury, and you go from there to jewelry. So why you go from clothes and then to jewelry?
Well, it was the mother of my daughter. When we met, she was in jewelry at that time for like 16 years. Damn. She's from Nepal, so she moved here to the States, and that's basically all she knew. So when we started talking, you know, we were finding out about each other and, you know, get to know. And then maybe about like 6 months into dating, I was like, hey, let me tell me what I need to do to get some jewelry. Like, I wasn't trying to get a hookup from her, but I was just like, hey, just tell me what I should go and buy because I want to buy something nice. And she kind of just like, for a couple of weeks, she kind of just did, okay, well, I'll look for you. I'll see some stuff. And then a couple of weeks come by and nothing. And I'm like, so I'm kind of trying to hint at her. I was like, hey, like, I'm thinking about getting this necklace on this website. And what do you think? She's like, no, don't get that. That's like, you're not going to like it. You're not going to be happy with it. And then she's like, well, I got to go to one of my, so she was a manager for one of the jewelry stores that her boss owned. So she kind of had like the final say in directing everything. And he trusted her to where she went to go to some suppliers to restock inventory and stuff. She's like, well, I need to go stock up. And if you want to come, you know, and you want to take a look and see some things you like, and go from there. And so we go, I pick out some things, and then she tells me how much I got to pay for it. And I was like, okay, well, question though, like it clicked right then and there. How much are you paying for this here? She tells me the price. And then how much would your store sell it for? She tells me the price. I'm like, then and there, I was like, yo, why don't you do this? Like, like there's obviously, you know.
Wait, so you were the one that put the idea of entrepreneurship in her head, aside from being a manager?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Well, props to y'all.
Thanks, man. I'm always an outside thinker. I always think of things outside the box. I have a very creative mindset. I like to do things different. We kind of sidetracked with the King of the Hill thing. But going back to it, about the fashion thing. So my small town, everybody's country. And during that era, when I moved, everybody was rocking out the polo shirts and the polo boots and straight leg pants and stuff like that. So put it in perspective. Or if it's not that, it's country camo boots, everything like that. So where all the time, because I just cared about how my appearance was, they always question, hey, are you gay? Hey, are you gay? Oh, I thought you were gay. And just I'm like, I'm metrosexual. I care how I look and I care how I appear. Type of thing, right? Yeah. But I always wanted to move to Dallas too, even when I was a kid. So, you know, I got old enough and I took the leap and moved out here and was able to like be more of me, you know, without people questioning. Like, well, it's not even like anything not being me. It's just I just liked how I dressed and I cared about how I dressed and people questioned it. But to go back to, so I always was expressive. I always had an artistic mindset. I'm a very visual guy. Like I said, I have a very creative mindset. And so when that opportunity just instantly brought up, I was like, oh shoot, this is a good opportunity for you to go into it. And I always knew I was going to do something, because I always knew I wasn't going to work for somebody else, because I was getting tired of just having a set structure, being told no when I want to request off, when I want to request it. Like, it's just, I was just never a fan of it. My parents were both always entrepreneurs since I was born, or at least I can remember. And so, you know, they always did whatever they wanted. You know, if they wanted to take a day off, hey, I'll like they have a gigs, they just call whoever they need to call. I'm like, hey, you take care of it. Or like my mom, she was a cleaner. She's like, hey, I can't come in today. Can I come in just another day? Yeah, sure, cool, whatever. So I always like the fact that they can, if they want an open schedule, they can do it. But going back to it, you know, I put that in her mind, and she calls things how it is. So when she says something, like, she means it direct. She's very blunt with everything she says. Blunt. So when I told her that, hey, you should put this into your, or you should consider doing this, she's like, no. Like, when she said no, it was like just very stern. I was like, okay, I won't talk about it anymore. And then like a couple of days go by, and then she's like, you know, I've been thinking about what you said. Like, maybe I could start off something small and then do it on the side and here and there just to make some extra money. And I was like, cool, bet. Because this was COVID. This was 2020. So this is where we're realizing, like, hey, like, we're not working for a couple weeks, a couple months.
Boy, you talking about a whole year.
Well, with other people. So I'm talking, but like, you know, some stores, they like were completely dead. Like Gucci was shut down for like, I think 2 months. Like no work at all.
Nobody's going in there.
And so we're just trying to find things. You know, it's like, might as well try and get some income somehow. So once she gave me the okay, a couple of days later, I was like, okay, cool, bet. Started making an Instagram account. I was trying to figure out like the name for the business, because I'm marketing, I'm branding, I'm visual. So I was like, okay, I'm going to help you out, do this. You just know what to do when it comes to jewelry, what to look for and everything. And we invested $500 each into it. And because of COVID, and I wasn't in the best financial position there, I was just like, I always wanted to be like, I don't know if I want to spend this $500 to do this and invest in it. But I was like, you know what? I'm genuinely interested in her. We were, like I said at the time, maybe about 6 months in. But I seen, like, you know, a really good potential with her. So, of course, I wanted to invest more than just, you know, finance it, but, like, help make her dream come true. And within the first year, man, it took off so fast to where it was really initially going to be just for her. Like, I was just like, okay, I'll help you out. I'll, you know, promote it. I'll first? MM Jewelers.
MM Jewelers.
Oh, so she ended up sticking with the name after you guys, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's for another.
Yeah.
But so yeah, MM Jewelers is the initial because it stood for Maya and Miggi. Maya is what her mom calls her, and then Miggi's my nickname. So
that's cute.
I know, right?
M&M Jewelers would have been cuter, bro.
Nah, bro, quit. He'd get trademarked. He'd get copyright infringed.
Lawsuit. That would have been cool though.
What was I at? So yeah, so it took off. So it was, like I said, I was just gonna help her build the brand, build the name, and then let her take over. But it took off so fast to where it was like, oh, you need my help with this.
Yeah.
And within 1 year of doing that, like I said, like you're saying, I was working at a top world-renowned luxury company. Within 1 year, it made so much sense to me to just do my own thing full time, because so the way that the Gucci had it was they pay you hourly and then commission, and the commission was 3%. I'm like, well, I'm selling them a $10,000 handbag, just for example, or I make $10,000 in sales, just say that.
Yeah, let's say that.
I'm only getting 3% of that. So don't give me $300. Don't get me wrong. They're like, $300 in 1 day is cool. But I'm always, what can I do this better? How can I elevate myself? And, you know, I was doing the numbers like, man, well, if I sell a certain amount, like sell something way less, like I sell something for $300.
Bro, like, you're getting like 3 pennies. It's like, nothing, yeah, bro. Like, bro, you're at work for how many hours a day for 3 cents?
Yeah.
On a $300 bag?
Well, no, sorry. I get what you're trying to say, but there's days where we don't sell nothing. We only sell maybe like a belt or a pair of shoes, which is only $305. So it's not much, right? Mm-hmm. But what I was saying is, like, I sell something, one of my own product, to where my profit margin is. I have a higher percentage. I sell something way less and I make way more. Mm-hmm. And so for that year, once that business actually started taking off, like, that was the only thing in my mind is like, I'm working these many hours. I'm getting chewed out because it's COVID. So everybody was stressed. Yep. I don't know if you remember, there's that whole line system where you had to wait in line just to go into a store.
Yep.
So on the weekends, not even the weekends. I mean, several days throughout the week where people have to wait in line, and they wait in line for like 2 hours.
Heck no.
And they're willing to. I'm like, yo, nobody told you to wait in this. So by the time it's their turn, they come in and getting mad at me. I'm like, yo, I have no say in this. Like, we're not the only store doing it. be mad at the person that was in front of you that took their sweet time. Like,
no, for real, bro. That's so crazy. And you know what? Nowadays, you don't even think about that shit anymore until you really think about where you were at in that time. And me personally,
bro, everybody shares vapes. I'm like, people are trying to, hey man, can I take your hair vape? I'm like, bro, y'all don't remember what just happened like 3 years ago, like 4 years ago, like crazy.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, so you know, it was hectic. I was, bro, like constantly getting chewed out, upset customers, upset and everything. Like some things were out of my control. And then the management there was garbage, so I was getting chewed out from the back end. So I was like, I'm like in my head like, yo, I'm so ready to leave. Like, let me just like. One thing that takes me and I'm gone, cause like I took the leap, but I call it more of like an educated leap or an educated risk because the numbers were making sense. Cause anytime that I was working on the jewelry business, it was like either before work or after work or during like my lunch and stuff like that. Well, even till like sometimes I just went to the back house and like, okay, let me just work real quick. Like I get a shoe for a customer. Okay, you want a size 10 or whatever. Let me go get that for you. And then while I'm walking back there, I'm just like texting on my phone, posting content or whatever, responding to a customer. And then like, you know, they wait for a couple minutes and like, oh, sorry, I was having trouble finding the shoe. Luckily I found it, so we have it.
So you are the reason why the line was taking 2 hours.
Nah, I know, right? I just called it out. Nah, definitely not that. But damn, maybe it was.
You clock out to clock back in, basically. Yeah.
Okay, no, it didn't take that much longer. But I'm saying while I was walking back and while I was walking forth is when I'm just walking, so I could type type of thing. And but even just to clarify too, we also had our outreach to customers and follow up with them. So we had our work phones. So I was doing both. I was texting mine. I was following with the clients. Hey, is there something else you wanted to take a look at? Whatever. And then working on the stuff. So it was like busy. And yeah. So like I said, I did the numbers in my head. But the thing that made me want to take the leap was the fact that they didn't approve my the maternity shoot I had booked a month before my daughter was born.
Oh heck no! They didn't approve it.
No, they didn't. And so, but they're kind of difficult with the process because thank God nothing happened. But she had a slight more difficult complication with her pregnancy to where they needed to do monthly sonograms just to check up and make sure that the baby's okay. So they're kind of giving me a back push already about that. I was like, hey, do you have to be at these ultrasonics or whatever? And I'm like, well, I kind of want to be there if something bad happens. God forbid. It's like, and then, so I go back to the booking that. They sucked at booking our schedules. Like, it was the Friday before. The shoot was on Sunday, and they barely put the schedule out for that next week, the Friday before. So 2 days before.
And even then, bro, Sundays are not even that busy, I would think, because it's like y'all open later, and y'all close sooner. So you.
But even then, I mean, it's the weekend, too. So most of the time, malls at, in big-name stores, their slower periods are during the week anyways. So Sunday's like, let's see what we can scoop up towards the end. Or no, am I wrong?
No, it's a hit or miss because especially during the holidays, like Labor Day weekend, people are out there or whatever. Sundays were normally a little bit slower, but not drastically.
Not like during the weekday.
Yeah. So, and not only that, so the managers, they're supposed to rotate. So there's the store manager and then the assistant store manager, right? They're supposed to rotate each weekend on who takes off. But every weekend, they always take off. So they're always off on Sundays. They're always off on most Saturdays, too.
That's what they do for
themselves. So they prioritize themselves. So anyways, so I found out the schedule. I ended up calling out. But, like, everybody else aside from them were cool. I was like, hey, guys, I'm going to this. Like, I'm telling you guys right now, I'm calling out that day.
Yeah.
And they're like, cool, no, do what you need to, have fun at the shoot and everything. And then, call out. Monday comes by. I get called into the office. We know why you called out. We know that you wanted to schedule, blah, blah. And, like, I was just like, after they chewed me out for it, I was like, you know what? I called her, and then I was like, what did I say? I was like, hey, I'm done with it. Because she knew I was wanting to leave so bad. I was like, hey, I can't do this anymore. It's like, do you trust me enough to take over the business, to give it a full 100%? Because we only gave it like 40%, 50% effort. And I felt bad because, she's only a month away from having our daughter.
Stressful time.
So yeah. Think outside looking at it, you think it's the worst time.
Yeah,
the worst time possible.
Yeah.
It was a month, like a week before Black Friday, to where it was gonna be busy. I could have made some extra money, and I was also $30,000 away from hitting $2 million in sales for the year. And once I hit that, I would have got a $10,000 bonus.
So what's 3% of 2 million? I don't even know.
Do the math. What
is 3%?
So I sell them two. So I sell them $2 million, and I only get 10% or $10,000 from it. So don't get me wrong. If you think, you're gonna get $10,000, that's cool. That's great. Awesome.
Yeah.
But for me, like I said, I'm thinking greater. I'm like, that ain't shit at all whatsoever.
Like I could be the one making the $2 million.
Flip that. You give somebody else 3%. You're making the $2 million actually.
And people will probably say it's like, oh well, yeah, but that's because it's Gucci. It's like I get that they built that name, they built that. So why can't I do that same thing? Let me start now and let me build up that name. Let me build up that brand
entity.
Yeah, that entity. And so I called her and she was like, oh, I think you should maybe wait and blah, 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 but I know you've been wanting to talk to her. And she was supportive about it, but she didn't necessarily also agree with it. But she knew that I was already like ready to go. And so
for me would be like if you work at Gucci, Louis Vuitton, or any of those MCM, whatever, you make good money as a salesperson. When you say that, you're only making 3%. Yeah, you're making 3%, but that's really not as much as you're really thinking y'all were making. But real quick, did y'all get discounts and stuff like that?
Yeah,
like Gucci. Oh, so how much was that? How much of a discount would they give y'all?
I want to say, well, it depended. So they had like, it's half. Normally anything in the store was half, 50%
wow.
off. Yeah,
half. Oh yeah, bro. I'm about to get plugged in, boy.
Don't get me. It's not bad, but you got to think. It's like even though like a shoe's like $800, I still have to buy a $400 pair of shoes, and it's like it's don't get me wrong, it's not bad.
Yeah.
But I'm still paying $400 for a pair of shoes.
No, for sure. And then it's still it's like this one video I saw where this one dude was like, whenever somebody tells you how much something is. Yeah, and then you go online and look at it, they're fucking you times 10.
Yeah.
And now they say, here's the discount. They're still fucking you times 5. It's like, bruh.
You're still getting fucked no matter what. Yeah, all right, here's that second question real quick. My bad. No, actually, I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, so there's, for basically the standard discount was 50%, but there's also things that they, like with Gucci, is very fashion forward. They have seasonal launches. They try to make it limited on what they sell. It's not like just mass produced stuff. Mm-hmm. So if something that they, like a collection that they bring out, didn't sell as much as they wanted to, they either take it, and not a lot of people know this, but Gucci has an outlet. So the outlet, so it's discounted, right?
Wait, so is it a Gucci outlet or is it like another subsidiary?
No, it's a Gucci outlet.
Oh, wow.
And there's only like, I think 4 in the U.S. One of them is in San Marcos. So it's like in between, yeah. It's in between Austin and
Jesus. David's gonna come back and he's gonna go get himself some Gucci. Some Gucci.
So they have extra discounted stuff, and so we get some of the stuff. Like say, for example, the biggest discount they give is 50% off of what it was sold at retail. Mm-hmm. So we get 50% off, 50% off.
Oh, sheesh! So that's 25%, really.
Yeah.
Oh man,
so there's stuff.
Steal.
But like it's still expensive, man. Because and plus it's more stuff that you don't even want because obviously nobody bought it.
Yeah,
it's just if you want this stuff, like
pair of socks, I buy it.
It's kind of like my sister.
Making money off of you though, too.
Yeah, it's kind of like my sister at Columbia. Like she works at Columbia over here in the outlets, and they have her in the outlet section of Columbia, and she's like, I look at the things. She's like, "What's your discount?" She's like 20%. I'm like 20% off of 80%. I'll take that shit.
Yeah, And then real quick, the other, I done lost my train of thought.
I got you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got you, bro. I got you. So, okay, we're talking about the birth of your daughter, you wanting to quit. And
they gave me, I'm a selfish guy. Or used to be, I should say. I never thought of the long-term run. I always knew I was destined for something, to be somebody, to do something. I'm not saying I'm there now, but I'm saying that any position I am in life, I'm always like, I know I'm supposed to do better than this. I know I'm supposed to do more. But having the daughters, and I didn't even want a kid before, man. For the longest time, I always told people, no, I never want no kids. That's too much pressure. That's too much. I have to think about somebody every day, the rest of my life that I have to take care of, man. But nah, man, she motivated me to be more. She motivates me to be more, to always be better, to to give, I don't necessarily say give her the life that I never had, because I don't also want her to be spoiled, but I want her to enjoy the things. Yeah, I mean, enjoy the things I couldn't, but also be appreciative of what is given to her. Because, like, for example, there's things in life that I'm trying to teach her, like, that I would have, not saying my parents are bad, but what I would have liked them to do for me. Because to me, how she acts, her personality is like identical to mine. Like, I literally see myself, like, anything, like, small things she does reminds me of when I was a kid. And I put myself back into kid mode. Like, hey, what would I, if I was in this situation, what would I have liked? And it helps. So that's kind of a step away from your question, but yeah.
No. That totally makes sense, dude. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was the same way too, because I was always in that boat where I was like, nah, I'm not gonna have kids. Like, kids are for me, this and that. Bro, I had my daughter. She's 7 now, so like, that whole trajectory of me having my daughter, put me in a position where I was like, okay, now I have to do this, I have to do that. And like I said, having a child, especially a daughter, it gives you purpose, because you have to provide for that child. Not to say that it's different from having a son, but in a sense, like, when you have a son, you're teaching them how to be a leader per se, but whereas a woman, you have to raise her to, hey, you have value. This is what you're worth. And, just things like that, man. Just show her, like, this is what a man is supposed to give you. At the end of the day, everybody says the first man a daughter falls in love with is her dad. And, we're getting a little sidetracked, but I mean, the fact that you're so involved with your daughter the way you are, man, I mean, most, like, dude, like, what? 2024, bro, most of these guys are dumping their daughters and not even talking to them, dude.
Oh, yeah. Facts, bro.
Yeah.
I know two people like that right now.
Yeah, bro, from, like, one girl dad to another, dude. Yeah, big props, bro.
Thanks, man.
Nah, for real. Real talk.
I think that more compliments than we are talking about the jewelry, man.
You say we're getting off topic, but not really, bro, because it's like, there's a reason why you want to push your brand to be even further now because of your daughter. Yeah. Like, maybe if your daughter wasn't in your life, you'd be like, oh, I can do this. But now with your daughter, you're like, there's a deeper reason why I need to push even further.
Exactly.
And it's just on a whole nother level. I could speak from I have a son, so it's like the opposite. Like what you said, it's like, I'm gonna teach him, hey, this is how you need to treat women, and y'all are teaching y'all's daughters, hey, this is how you need to be treated from a man. You need this, you need that. These are the things that you should accept, shouldn't accept, and you just teach them that as they grow up. Like it's completely different, but it's literally the same thing. You're trying to teach them the right principles, morals, all that. It all goes back into who you are as a man. That was like why he led with that first question. Is so key to answering that next question of everything, bro. Because it all comes back down to your reason why. Yeah. Why? What's the main reason why? Yeah, because that's your main reason. Yeah, and it's more than me just now. Like I wanted, a good life, but now it's just like I have to have a good life for her. Yep. Type of that. Not for you anymore. For her. Yeah, not for you anymore, but for her now. Yeah. It's the next level.
No, dude, because like, I mean, I remember growing up, just telling myself, I'm like, all right, cool. In my 20s, I'm going to give me an apartment downtown. I'm going to be living this bachelor lifestyle, whatever, right? So, because, me growing up, my teenage years, bro, I was wilding out. And I'm so glad I got that shit out of my system early, because in the 20s, when the money started rolling in, it was like, I don't need to be going out too much anymore. It's kind of like, whatever, so like, I don't know, bro, just, having a daughter just gives you that purpose, bro. Yeah. And hold on. Come here. Come say hi. Come say hi to Miguel.
That's perfect example. Perfect timing. Perfect timing.
Come say hi to Miguel. Hi. Come here. You can come on this one real quick.
I love your outfit. I love the flowers and butterflies.
Yeah, all the pink too. Hi. For sure.
What's your name? Ariana. I love it. I have a daughter. Her name's Shania. So they both end with A's.
She said.
She loves butterflies and flowers. Like she actually has a butterfly on her shirt today too. I just got off the phone.
What coincidence? Is it pink too? Mm-hmm. What a coincidence.
Right. Perfect. I appreciate you coming in. Thank you.
Hey, this is my question, and we can get a little bit back on track, right? Yeah. So for you beforehand, what did you think the profit margins were before? And then once you established the business, what was a good profit margin for you? Was it like 20%, 50%, 30%, like beforehand, and then once you started getting it going?
You talking about with jewelry?
Well, with the jewelry, yeah.
Oh, profit margin is way higher than that.
Oh, way higher than what? 40, 50%?
Way higher. It can be. It can be. it depends on some products. Like what we were talking about before is about like the different metals and different materials. It's a high profit, but I'm not charging like. I'll just say this: there's jewelry stores. I'll talk about them because it's gonna make me look better. There's jewelry stores that have over 300% profit margins.
Sheesh, bro, you making 300% is a lot.
I would love that. I'm not saying I do. Trust me, I don't. I'm being very transparent. I would love to do 300% profit.
Let's give an example. So let's say there's a Cuban link. They're charging 10,000 for. Let's just say it's that.
Yeah.
So you're saying they might be getting that for 3,000 or something like that, 2,000.
So here's here's where it's iffy, because it depends on where they would get it from. So say like what I was telling you to where my Shania's mom gets suppliers here through Texas, which is wholesale. But if you or a lot of store owners have direct connections to the manufacturers, so they cut out the middleman, so they actually pay for it even less.
That's even better. Yeah.
So for example, you're talking about somebody sells for 10,000. Let's say they buy it for 3,000, but that's if they buy it wholesale. There could be a possibility where they come from family that does jewelry, and they only get it for 1,500,
even
1,000 type of thing, right? So it just depends on the connections that they have. And this is one thing that a lot of people like. I get it all the time. So well, here's the thing. So a majority of people in the jewelry industry are going to be either Middle Eastern, Indian, or Jewish. I'm neither of those.
So is that why it's so gatekept? Like when people want to hop in,
very gatekept up, very 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 gatekept.
I can tell. Yeah.
The only reason I got into the jewelry was because of my ex, because she's from Nepal. Nepal is right above, if people don't know, right above India. So she knows how to speak Hindi. Hindi is one of the main languages they speak in India. So that was my door in. But it even took a lot of the suppliers a year just to talk to me directly. We always used to go all together just so like I can show my face so they can know who I am. I ask them a question and they respond back to her rather than responding back to me. That's type of thing. It's
so disrespectful. You're like, I'm right here, and he's looking right.
I've done a couple posts, man, just because I'm like in my feelings about it. But bro, even still now, man, they give me so much issues. Like with like there's even suppliers that I still go to that still charge me more for me than they would somebody that's of similar race or somebody
ethnicity. Yes.
Yeah.
Ethnicity.
It's to the point where, because a lot of people always say, how do I get in jewelry? Bro, you got to invest.
Good luck.
Well, I mean, good luck, yes, but also too, money talks.
Yeah.
You better have thousands and thousands of dollars ready to, hey, give me some stuff, give me a price. I got money, like type of thing. But even still, man, sometimes they don't even care about that because they're gonna get it from other suppliers or whatever. They're gonna make their money.
Yeah.
So even still, but money's the key. And not saying it's gonna give you everything you want, because like I said, I still have to negotiate. Like go head on with this. Like, yo, why are y'all charging me this? Y'all charge this. Gave me a different price last time. Like
that's or
I tell them or it's like, oh, well, y'all gave Sachina a better price. Like, why are y'all like? It's hard, especially being a Latino in this jewelry industry. And that's why I be telling people, it's like, yo, let me put up with the hardships of buying, because people get screwed over at these big time jewelry stores or whatever, you know. And go back to about the profit margins. It also depends too, because there's different factors. Like say if they did buy, let's just put it in a bigger number. Let's say somebody has a necklace that they're selling for $65,000. And they only bought it for $30,000, because this is where it'll make more sense. Say they only paid $30,000 for it, but they're selling for $65,000, right? So that's like over 100% profit. But it's just like they can charge it because they're taking the risk to invest in a $30,000 necklace, and not even sure if they're gonna sell it or not, type of thing. So it's like, okay, well, if you want to buy one for $30,000, okay, but also too, you have to buy $100,000 worth of other stuff to get that one piece down to that price.
Now you got to go from 30 up to 130 just to get that good piece.
Yeah, it's just like because I know which video you're talking about, where like I talked about the 10%.
Yeah,
and it's just, but that's just in the industry.
But do you also think a good chunk of that has to do with brand recognition, where you can charge those certain profit margins? Because I mean, think about it. I don't know what Johnny Dang is charging, but I'm sure he's charging way fucking more than what you are.
People buy it for the name, just like you would with Gucci. People are talking about, oh, well, the materials only cost this much. Don't get me wrong, they're taxing way higher than it should. But I mean, they built up that name. They've been around for over 100 years. Name a small business that's built up for 100 years. I mean, that's technically how they started. They were a small business before. But Johnny Dang, this isn't bad mouthing Johnny Dang. Yes, I can make the exact same grill that he makes for a lot less, but people want that brand. Not only that, the experience. They go to that beautiful store that he has.
Oh yeah, have you been there before?
I've been there. Yeah. Super weird. Because this is I have suppliers in Houston, so while I'm out there, I'm like, one of the first few times I went out there, I was like, let me just go check it out. Just the motivation. I just like what you guys do with other podcasts. Y'all watch them. I go to different jewelry stores and I study. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, well maybe I can incorporate one of their ideas and put it into mine, and at least make it my own.
Yeah, makes sense.
But to go back, I mean, there's many factors with it. I feel like just because it's specifically jewelry, to where people will be like, already because of the reputation they've built of how much people tax and people get screwed over and stuff like this have happened. But meanwhile, like let's say for example, solar. I don't know much about solar. I don't know what their costs are in the materials, but you see these guys and they're freaking rich as hell. I'm like,
oh yeah, no, them dudes are taxing. I've talked to a couple of solar people. And they're like, no, bro, this is so much money I've been making selling solar panels.
This isn't a shot to solar people, but I'm just saying just a different industry. It can be car sales. The car dealership has to invest $30,000 into a car.
The same thing with roofing too.
Yeah, so type of thing. Yeah, it's just about sourcing. Like, okay, well, if you want to get it for $30,000, well, you go find your supplier. You take their word for it. Like, yeah, that's where the connection comes into. You don't know anything about jewelry, like. To the customer, or to the average customer, they don't know much about jewelry. That's where they come to somebody they trust, which is I always tell people, is like, let me be your trusted jeweler. Let me be your go-to guy. Let me answer any questions. Let me give you product knowledge. And that's the thing a lot of a lot of jewelers didn't do before, was inform people on what exactly they're buying. Mm-hmm. And so, but I'm very transparent with everything, man. Because last thing I want to do is sell somebody something saying it's this specific thing when it's not. They come back. They're gonna be mad at me. They're gonna dog on my brand, and it's gonna put a bad taste in their mouth. And word of mouth is like the best marketing. Yeah, literally the best marketing.
That brings me to my next question too. Since you got the storefront, but it's only so many people can pull up and shop with you there. So would you say that going to pop-up events is better for your business in a sense where you're doing hand-to-hand transactions, but people are getting to recognize you outside of Dallas?
Yes and no. I want to say 50-50. Here's the reason why. Because at the shows, well, before I had the storefront, it was just online sales and it was just pop-ups. That was the only thing. Hey, you want to shop in person? Come to one of these pop-ups. But I feel like now that I have a set location and it's not, one day it's in downtown Dallas, the next day it's in midtown Dallas, next day it's in Arlington, whatever. It's one set base, so they know where they go. Oh, well, guess what? I actually need to go by the Gallerias on Tuesday, so I'm going to stop by then that day. So that's what makes it convenient for them, is because they're able to plan around it rather than having to go out of their way or whatever. But normally at the store, I have bigger item transactions. Mm. So let's just say $500 and up is my standard transaction. At the shows, I do more like smaller ones. I do, like I was telling you about the bracelets that I had, $40 there, $100 there. I get some bigger ones, but it's not consistent. But so it's like, it's either I sell a big transaction, but it's very every so often, or if it's so many ones and then adds up. So so it's just like, it's either a big transaction or a small one. I got to do it for the camera, right? Yeah. Big one or small ones, but I make multiple ones to where it kind of evens out that way. So makes sense. It's like 50-50 type of thing. But now I really see more of the market pop-ups as a marketing thing. Sales is the bonus, the cherry on top. Yeah. My main focus is the store having transactions there. Mm-hmm. And these are just bonuses that where I sell. But my main thing is just getting people to know my name. Hey, here's my information. Follow me on Instagram. I do giveaways. I do all that. That way, even if they don't buy then, they'll buy eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's very important, because you just like, even then, I mean, you're starting out, but you're doing all these networking events and getting your face out there. But even then, until somebody actually buys from you, then it's like, yeah, maybe I'll buy 'em. But if you plant that seed in their head where it's like, we've talked before, like, why not? Like, for example, this bracelet right here. So I got this at the Max. I got it off the table from what you call it, from MM, because I saw. But the only reason I bought it was because I remember I bought a pair of earrings for my daughter from that station before. I didn't even know what it was at a melting pot. I was just like, well, I'm here. Let me buy my daughter something. So I looked at the table, saw the earrings, and then I was like, oh. So then when we got to the Max, I was like, oh shit, I've seen that logo before. And it, planting the seed, bro.
Damn it. It's a good thing that you say that now. But my main thing, so with Jewelers, like I said, my main thing was just the branding, the marketing, the imaging, that gold diamond with the MMs on it. I miss it. I miss it. And having to start fresh and do my own thing. It's funny because people with the new logo, they're like, oh, well, it looks just like the other one. Well, yeah, motherfucker, I made the original brand. Like,
that's really me.
That's me. Yeah, the reason why it looks like it is because I made it, type of thing.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too, man. I'm just so busy right now as far as just running the business, making sales. I don't have as much time as I would like to market it like I did with Invaluable, because she was the forefront. She was the person that was talking to everybody on the page, that was selling the. Not saying I wasn't either, but she was the main person to run that, to do the sellings and in charge of the inventory. And I was just posts, content, all that.
You were doing the back end,
photography, setting up the website, putting it all up, all that. That was my end. And now, just because I've been too busy, like I said, making sales, keeping up with my inventory, booking the events, marketing, all that, I don't have as much time to focus on my brand. It kind of sucks, but in time, I'll have a team that'll eventually get to that.
So, despite you being 50% owner still of that business, technically, do you have any like say into how does it run or to keep it profitable?
I don't have 50%.
Oh,
I sacrificed all that.
Oh,
I could have. I every rightful mind to have that business for me, but nah. It was to the point where I was just like, you know what?
You got to burn the ships again.
Yeah, burn
Take it. I already knew. I already knew what I did for the business. How the reason why it built. Not saying it's not anything without her, but I have a strong enough network that launched it off to make it so good in a year to where I could quit my job. I knew exactly what vision I was trying to portray with the brand and what direction we needed to go with it and to make it where it was. The sneaker con events, the traveling, flying all throughout the U.S., those were my ideas. The first one that we did was in San Antonio. We were very iffy about doing it because the tables, there was $300 per table. And we bought, well, actually, no, sorry. They're normally $300 per table, and then we had to buy 2 of them for enough room. But we looked into it so last minute to where they're sold out on all the tables in San Antonio, and I had to buy a brand alley package. And I was like $3,000.
Shit.
So imagine investing $3,000, not knowing if you're gonna sell or not, right? But I was very adamant because it made sense in my head: sneakers, hip hop, accessory, culture, fashion. It all was like, yo, this in my head, it worked out. But so the space that was $3,000, I luckily found another brand that wanted to split half of that booth space because it was a 20 by 10. So we got 10 by 10, right? I got to find ways. What can I do to cut corners and do this and that, right? So, and this was in February after I left in November of 2020. So February 2021. Remember I told you about that $10,000
bonus?
I left that, right?
Yeah.
In February, invested into that table, whatever. One day event, we made $14,000 in sales.
14?
14,000. One day for that event.
You sound like Vic right now.
Right? No, bro, because Vic's,
big numbers at these.
Dude, for real, though. Like,
that's big numbers at a pop-up.
Nah, bro, that's what's up, though. Like, it's funny. So, you got a favorite pop-up you like to go to, or is just wherever besides the sneaker cons? Because I know when we talked to Vic, he mentioned, nah, bro, the melting pot is key, bro.
My favorite spots were the places where Jewelers is at now. So
she got all the spots.
And that's the thing, man. I sacrifice. I don't do sneaker cons anymore. I'm doing sneaker con Dallas because it's just here. It's already here. It's like, we're not
really ain't spending money doing that.
Yeah, and I'm not really taking away from her because normally, on average, just traveling alone, flights, hotel, food, Ubers, hauling our product. There's a guy who hauls all of our stuff, because they haul from everybody else's sneakers along with our crate. Like there, you're probably looking at average probably about $2,500.
Just
before you even make a single dollar at the show, you have to invest that much, right?
That's wild.
And you normally have to invest into it a month before, so you have $2,500 in the hole. Have to wait a month, and then see if you even sell that or not, right? But the reason why I don't is because I don't want to take away from her, which would take away from my daughter. So that's the main thing. Why I'm not battling her over anything. Why I'm like, just take it. Just my brand is me now.
Yeah. I can respect that, man, in a sense where, like, I was thinking about it when I bought the bracelet, and then I saw, jewelry department, and then I was putting two and two together, and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, oh, so I kind of did buy this jewelry from Miguel too, in a sense.
In a way, yeah.
I was like,
I deserve 50% off that bracelet though. And this is because I'm probably going to share this to her. Sachina, this isn't bad, anything about you. I'm just calling it how it is. I'm very transparent, and you know that. So don't hate me for being me. So, but I'm not bad mouthing you. Like I said, it's like this is me as a man, as a provider. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to take anything off out of your plate and what you have, because Shania is also mostly with her too. Whatever you need to take care of her, take it out of what was supposed to be mine for the business.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. Nobody's knocking that at all, bro.
And not like I'm saying it's like, she asked for money or whatever. I need some new shoes. I'm like, no, I'll take it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I still come out of my pocket, to take
exactly.
care of her, right? But it's just, that's why I don't even battle it or try and argue with it. At first, it was my main thing that was hard to let go, was just the fact that was also my baby, I built that, it was like my daughter to me. Huh?
So was that like pride for you a little bit?
It took away a lot of my pride.
Yeah.
Not the reason why I wanted to keep it was my pride, but it's just because like I made that. That was you. It was me.
Mm-hmm. But I think the real beauty behind the whole situation is that, like, it was like, okay, I've done this once, I hit rock bottom. Now can I come up and do it again? And you're doing it again, so it's like, I mean, shit.
Back to back, baby.
Let's go.
See, what I like, bro, is that, like, I know you said you can't do it right now, but when I hear Miggi the Jeweler, I'm like, yo, this dude needs to have his YouTube channel. They need to walk around with him, go to these events. They need to see all the behind the scenes so they can fall in love with. They can fall in love with you as the brand, because I could see it, like you said before. Miggi the Jeweler, you said, I want to be your personal jeweler. It could be Miggi the Jeweler. Let me be your personal jeweler. Yeah. That would be the slogan, your personal jeweler. And that's what it is, bro, because I actually want to get a piece. It's like you said, a Cuban link is a man's best friend nowadays, bro. It literally is. Girls see you got a Cuban on or whatever it is, they're like, oh, he got to be doing something. He got a nice thick chain on. Like, he got to be having some kind of motion. So it's like, that's what people are missing, is like, I'm not informed. So before I even want to spend money, I need to be informed. Yeah. So it's like you said, what would be the easiest process if somebody wanted to make you their personal jeweler? Do they need to know what they want before they get it, or how does it work? How would you explain that?
It's just this is what I learned with working in retail, is just open-ended questions, rather than just saying, oh, do you want a Cuban? Yes or no? It's like, rather than asking that, what type of necklace do you like? Oh, I don't even know anything about a necklace. Okay, well, you have these options. You have, because I start off with the best sellers, and then unless they want to be more intricate, but it's just like open-ended questions. Are we going funneling it down? So we have these options. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, well, you want this one? Okay, cool. Now, do you want it in white gold, yellow gold, rose gold? Okay, do you want it solid or do you want it iced out? So it kind of narrows it down.
Got you.
But there's so many options in jewelry. It's like there's so many things to go on. I'm like, okay, well, have you seen anything online that you like that made you want to hit me up? Or like, if it's my page, if it's somebody else's page, if it's Google, if it's because your phones are listening, you talk about jewelry, you guys are probably going to get, after this podcast, jewelry ads from somewhere. So what I tell people is, okay, well, if you have something in mind specifically, look on Google, send it to me. If that's something you want, I could source it for you.
I want that right there.
Yeah, type of, yeah, exactly.
No, for real, I want one of those, but I would want it in like higher than 12K. Okay. Like, I would want it with gold. Yeah. I mean, everybody has their preference, but I would rather have gold over silver or anything else. Right. Like
so
that.
You want more like 24 karat gold.
Yeah, I know mine's gonna be more expensive because you're talking about an ounce of gold. An ounce of gold right now is at least $2,500 just about. So that's a good amount of money just on like a bracelet or whatever the case is. So let's say I wanted one of these, not both of them, one of them, and it was like 18 karat gold. What might that run? Even with your profit margin and everything, what would that maybe be?
He's like, come by the shop. Just come by the shop.
Let me show you.
No, it's just for people who are watching that way can get an idea. So it would also depend if either I can source it and get it for you that's already pre-made, because there's manufacturers that just boom print them out all day, all day. Or if you had to do custom, but custom always costs more because you have to make it specifically for that customer, and it just depends if I can source it. Now, don't get me. Let's say that there's another jeweler that has it already on hand. I don't know where they get it from. If that's not one of my sources, I would have to make it custom. But they could sell it to you better than I could. And there's times where I have to tell people, say, hey, like people want like a small little name pendant.
Fire. That's fire.
And I'd be like, hey, to be honest, I can't get it at the price that these other people are, because they send me stuff from what they see from another website. To be honest, that's gonna be your best. That's gonna be a better price. But if you want to go through custom through me, it's gonna cost this much. So sometimes I just have to bite the bullet. I don't say bite the bullet, but just tell the customers, like, I can't get it for the price that you're wanting to get it. Go for that website.
That's a good jeweler.
Yeah. So in a sense, do you refer them to people that you already work with in the industry, as far as networking goes? Because I mean, I'm sure you guys don't want to like share clients or whatever, but do you have relationships with other jewelers where it's like, look, I'm gonna refer this person to you, and you do the same thing, vice versa, in a sense?
It hasn't happened much, but yes. But I don't really network with anybody that's not Latino, because they don't understand because they have their community, but the Latino jeweler community is very small. Yeah. And so I know a lot more in that community than anything. But yeah, it's just like, hey, if this client buys, just break me off some bread. That's not even like it's just more of a verbal, hey man, just verbal. I'll bring them to you, take care of them, give me however much you feel.
It's like respect.
Yeah, more respect things.
Yeah. So do you see yourself sourcing with other Latino jewelers? Like, for example, like, you ever go to the Westmoreland Bazaar or like the Bulga in Fort Worth? They just got tables loaded with jewelry. Yeah. You ever meet any of those older people? Because I mean, they've probably been in the game a lot longer than you have, no?
Yeah, but it's just their demographics a little bit more different, because everything that they have there's gold. Like, Mexicans love gold, gold, and they like They like more 14 karat or higher. But my demographic's more hip hop. So they have some thicker gold chains and stuff like that. Yeah. But mine's more iced out. Mine's the flashy stuff. So, if a client comes to me, let me go back to what you're saying. So, those people, most of them, they go to the same suppliers that I do. So it's not, I literally see, he got that one at, so I've seen it. Yeah. I know exactly where you got that one at. Okay. No. So I can't necessarily buy from them because I already know how much they're.
So can you tell because of the little stamp that they put on the jewelry or what?
That or literally just seeing it by eye. Like, there's customers that come by and like, this happened at SneakerCon. I miss SneakerCon. There's people who come by. I don't remember them, but they bought with this before. But I see the necklace on their hand. I was like, "Hey, you bought that from us last year, right?" And like, "Yeah, how'd you know?" I was like, "I just know my product specifically, type of thing." Good. So, that's the thing. Is like I see my stuff every day. I study my stuff. I know I specifically pick out my product for a reason. It's not just like, I think this is like, I need to test it. I need to see its durability. I need to see the link spaces. There's so many factors into why I buy things a specific way, because I can get like. Obviously, people want to save money, right? Yep. People want to buy jewelry for the less. But my thing isn't always about the less being the best. Because I can get somebody a little flimsy 10 karat gold necklace that they only want to spend $200 on. I'm like, hey, I can get that for you, but I tell them, but it's gonna break.
It's gonna be bad.
Like, if you get one little snag on it, if you're showering with it on and your loofah gets on snags on it, it's gonna break. Like, for sure. I tell them, it's like, I can get that for you, but I wouldn't recommend that. Would you rather want to? And then that's when I give them options. Would you rather want to go for a little bit more money to have a more solid piece where you're going to have less issues? Or like a baby bracelet, same thing. Babies snag on stuff. Like, let me get you something a little bit more solid. I know it's not how much you're
wanting to spend. Get a baby a Cuban link bracelet.
Oh, bro, the clients that they get fat Cubans, like, or fat Chino links. Mexican, like, Chino links is like the Dallas Mexican thing, man. Well, I think just Mexicans in general.
Things like fire though, bro.
Yeah, I'm not dogging it, but but that's not what I sell mostly. Not saying I can't get it. If you're watching, if you want one, I got you. But it's just like there's so many target audiences within jewelry itself. Yeah, because you got people who specialize, like James Avery, that specialize in engagement rings. Then you have Johnny Dang, who specializes in grills. Then you have I'm trying to give another example. James Avery. You have James Allen and James Avery. People don't even know there's two different names.
What the fuck?
They have they specialize in like Byzantine chains or something specific. So every jewelry brand is just different to what they have to target to. Like for example, me and my business partner. So the storefront is actually his, but all he does is buy gold, silver, coins, things of value, and makes grills. That's it. He when me coming into the store, he's like, well, when we met, like we talked about negotiations, like, so I basically have the front half because I'm the one that has to, and he doesn't like to have jewelry sit. He's a quick guy. He's like, boom, I buy the gold for so much, I'm gonna take it to the refiner, give it to them, and that's where he makes his money. And then he doesn't want to buy, let's just say, $30,000 worth of inventory and just have it sit and not know if he's gonna sell or not. He needs quick turnaround, quick, and that's where I came in. I know what my demographic wants, what it's gonna sell. And it's not always the case. Some things don't always sell, but I'm the one that takes the risk on into to having the displays. So I have the front half of the store. He basically has the back half of the store where he does the grill moldings and gets done for customers.
Yeah, so I heard you like to keep your jewelry on a leash of try to sell it under 90 days. So is that correct? You want to get it in and out as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Anybody
would like that.
If it sits longer than 3 months, you're like, all right, I'm not probably reorder this or whatever it is.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and I have to sell it at a lower rate just so I can. I need money moving. I don't like to have it sit. Sometimes I like if there's a client or something that wants to buy it, like say it's some old, but they're asking way too long. Like I'd rather keep it because I'm gonna find. I'm gonna find. I like to keep money moving, but at the same time too, I know that I'm gonna have somebody that's gonna be looking for this specific thing. Yeah. So it swears like I'm not gonna lose money on it, but I'm also gonna at least take less profit to keep the ball rolling and invest on something else that will run. So it's just kind of like a seesaw. It depends on if I want to go this way or do I want to go that way. So,
I wanted to touch on networking because I'm seeing you everywhere with Rome and cosign events. You were at what was it, that fashion show this weekend? Yeah. So how much of the networking do you do is more networking and then you just being out there and be like, oh, I style so people can look at you and just be like, I like what he got. So let me talk to him.
Yeah. That's the thing, man. It's funny that y'all mentioned, like today I only have like really just one necklace, but there's times where I have to go to, where I decide to go to specific events and just full out. Well, because they are talking about Tracks NYC, right? You see most of his blogs. He just has like 20 chains on for no reason. But then you watch his YouTube videos and he doesn't have. He just has his personal piece on,
Tracks,
right?
Yeah, that Tracks one.
So it's more just to
attention seekers.
Yeah, attention seekers. Like boom, they see a guy that they don't know walk up with all this jewelry, and he sees that a lot of people going up to him and saying hi, and he's in a section with Hennessy. So it's just like boom, 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 all these reasons. Stuff. Yeah, it's and a lot of people come up. They come up just to find, hey, like, are you an artist? Are you a rapper? Or you hear all this stuff? And
whatever you want me to be.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, and then that's where it goes from there, man. It's just, luckily with how life has taken me, especially with Roman, especially with KG and Cosign, like, it's just things worked out for me, because of the seeds that I planted, the connections that I had. And actually, because, Roman's with Hennessy, KG has Cosign, they actually met together because of me.
That's
type
crazy.
of thing. So
that's the best though.
Yeah, I'm very proud of that because of how well they worked together and collaborated that. And that's another thing that was going on while I was working at Gucci. I was like, man, these guys are doing their own thing and their brands. But meanwhile at Gucci, I can't really just correlate that because Gucci's very corporate and they don't want me with alcohol involved and they'll put a bad name on the brand. I've gotten chewed out about this stuff with managers. Like, yeah, we saw you wearing a Gucci jacket with chugging down Hennessy. We're gonna have to ask you to take that off social media. Trust me. I made it very brief on why I decided to leave, but there's so many other reasons behind it. But now it's me. Now it's okay. You're gonna see me popping bottles. You're gonna see me chugging down this, but you're gonna see me pour bottle of Moet on a watch and just be like, I don't do that. But I'm just saying I could do what y'all see on social media and whatever's trendy. But me wearing more jewelry than what I normally wear is already enough, man. It's a uniform at that point. It's like I wear it because I have to. I wear it because it catches people's attention.
It's kind of funny because when we had Amari Cooper on the podcast about a month ago, we were looking at him. Brandon pulled out his chains. He's like, I heard you like to floss. And Amari Cooper was like, nah. Y'all really thought I was gonna come in here all iced out, didn't y'all? Nah, man, I'm in my sweats. I don't care. Man. I'm chilling, bro.
Yeah, we were looking at his Instagram, and his Instagram is just chains, watches. That dude's blinging. He shows up that day, nothing on.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
like, okay, coming natural
for the presence. Think about it. You don't think he's gonna be coming in here with the Dallas uniform on, type of thing,
true.
with the full pads on and everything, type of thing, right? It's just the same thing with Julie. It's just like, man, I don't want to wear that all day.
He's not
every
wearing
day.
his uniform. Then.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not wearing your uniform. Let me catch
exactly.
you not wearing the uniform.
I'm dead. You know, no jewelry. He's Miguel.
Yeah, he's Miguel.
He got jewelry. He's
And I'm already worried.
Miggi.
This is a lot for me too. Like I literally put it on my way here. I was just like, all right.
This,
He gotta
put on his uniform.
I was gonna bring more cheese too, but I was like, man, I don't even want to do that. I'll just put on one. I'll make it simple. I'll just put on one. I'll do a watch. And
Hey, let's tap on what we're talking about real quick, because I got another question for you. We had talked about with some of these athletes or artists buying some of the fake jewelry, because it's like, what's the point of spending money on the real jewelry?
Right.
So let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, we'll go back to the fake jewelry thing.
Mm-hmm.
So where,
people will walk up to your table and say, "Hey, it's fake."
There's no really word called or fake jewelry that doesn't exist. Mm-hmm. There's different tiers into jewelry type of thing. So the only thing that would make it fake is you calling it to be what it isn't. Like my necklace. If I say, it's a diamond pendant because that's the logo, right? Mm-hmm. But if I say it's a diamond necklace, now it's fake because it's not. It's the moissanite labstone stuff.
Okay, gotcha.
So, it's if you see a necklace, because you're talking about the lower it is, the faker it is, right? Mm-hmm. There could be a necklace that's for $20. Somebody buys it. Now, if they say it's real gold, which just alone because of how much gold is right now for the market,
20, yeah, that's fake.
if you say it's gold, it's fake. But if you say it's this is just say
Gold
cheap
plated.
necklace, you're just plated necklace or whatever, then it doesn't necessarily make it fake. Only if you say it is what it isn't.
Okay,
that's what makes it fake.
Kind of like reps a little bit. Like if you get some real Yeezys to fake replica Yeezys,
Yeah,
it's the same concept. It's only fake if you're saying, "Hey, yeah, these are real Yeezys." But if you say,
exactly.
"Hey, these are reps,"
oh, these are reps,
we
we
already know. Oh, that's $20.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, type of thing. So, but yeah, to go back with the question about the jewelry, a lot of people do it. A lot of celebrities, a lot of artists, a lot of people with money, bro. There's millionaires who hit me up or who I've sold to, sold affordable jewelry. I say affordable because it's less than what thousands of dollars type of thing, right? Like so my word for fake jewelry is affordable, but even still, silver's not even silver, and it's just more affordable than gold. But anyways, yeah, there's millionaires, there's athletes, there's musicians that I've sold to, producers that I've sold to that buy, the moissanite stuff. It doesn't make it fake. There's actually a financial advisor who has 5 major league players, like in different fields, like NBA, NFL, MLB, all that, right?
Whatever, yeah.
Which I'm hoping everything goes good, to where he would purchase from me, because as a financial advisor, he thinks spending $5,000 on a necklace is way better than spending $50,000 on another necklace, type of thing, type of thing. So hopefully he'll work his way with, and then we can close some deals and have clients to.
That would be lit.
Yeah.
So the question I got real quick is, show everybody how much is this watch right here? Yeah, show. Yeah, I gotta see it. Show go like this. Show them. Throw it up.
Let me. I'll let you physically hold
Yeah,
this
let
up.
me see. Let me check this out.
You can hold it towards the camera too if you want.
Yeah,
just stand behind
it
it.
feels light. Actually, like I said, I'm not really too into like watches and jewelry like that. I literally never wore watches or jewelry, but this is nice, bro. It looks nice. But like you said, it goes back to what are you saying it is, right?
Here, let me pass it so I can show it to the camera.
Me, hopefully not getting sued. I'm just gonna say it's very affordable.
Got you. Okay, got you. Very
because
affordable.
when it comes to branding, which is very
key.
very careful on how I advertise products and how I word it. But I let people know, like, I'm not gonna say something's authentic when it's not.
Yeah, got you.
Well, let's just say that it's not authentic.
Oh yeah, there you go.
It's
It
not
does
authentic.
look nice though, bro. It does for sure.
And like I said, I only wore it because of the show, all right? Because of this
Yeah.
thing, all right? Because it goes nice.
It does look nice, bro, for sure.
But so I'll even tell you, there's times where I'm out and about, or I'm out with a social group or networking dinner or whatever it is, and I literally see people just like eyeing
staring
it, like,
at it, like damn.
Yeah, they're like literally learning. I was like, well, I mean, you can think what it is, but if you're gonna ask me and tell me, you can think all you want, whatever anything is. But if you talk to me and tell, I'll be transparent. All right, it's a replica, or it's whatever. It's a
moissanite or whatever, not diamonds.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, before we wrap up, I want to talk a little bit about Uncut Gems, one of Adam Sandler's top 5 movies.
Man, I love that movie so much.
It was a good movie, bro. I watched that movie.
So my question is, like, how did the movie make you feel as a jeweler? How realistic is it to you as a jeweler? And I mean, did you take anything away from the movie in a sense from like the whole story?
Well, the story really wasn't. It's funny how it's not really about jewelry.
It's not about jewelry at all.
It's not. It's like it's about the main reason was that rock, right? But it's just like, well, I'll tell you what's relatable is the fact that you see how hectic it can be at that store when he has multiple clients. It can get that hectic, like because most of the movie was just the whole anxiety or like getting your heart racing. People always wonder, like, well, why are you always so stressed? Or why are you always so stressed? Because there's times where it gets so hectic with so much going on. I think this is just really just a business direction, but I related with it because I'm in the jewelry. But yeah, there's hectic things where you have this going on in the background. Meanwhile, you have a very important client right at the moment, but then you got this other BS happening and There's stuff like that which is relatable. But I really don't have this. I really don't have this issue, but also too, you know how he took Kevin Garnett's ring and basically pawned it so he can make a bet and then type of thing. So I'd seen this with other jewelers to where they would, let's say, I'll try and make it the most simplest. Say a client pays for a custom pendant. Say we'll do easy numbers. We'll just say 1,000 just because it's easy to remember. Mm-hmm. Say they have to do 1,000 or they have a client. Oh, no, let me just say. Yeah. They get the 1,000 from the client for the payment, but they use that money for something else because let's say they have like an important event or they have like a pop-up or they have whatever at the store that they need that they're going to sell because the weekend's coming up or something like that. They would use that money for something else, which is kind of the risk because he did it as a gamble, to sell only for them to make the money back and then they'll be able to make the custom pendant for the client.
So it's too much to come back. You're doing all these little intricate things to come back to the main reason why you even got the money.
Yeah.
Oh, it's too deep. It's too much.
But that's too risky. That's why. But so it's you also got to think in the business mindset too, right? So you got to think of what's going to keep moving, how to keep it levitated. Those risks, I've done that very minimal times, but there's times where you have to cut. You have to push and risk and try to do it. Because at the end of the day, it's not like if I use that client's money and I don't have the money, then I can't get the piece started and they're gonna get pissed, right? Yep. But there's times where I have to I have to move. It's just moving money into one certain place just to make buy. Like let's say for example, I'll give you the example. Is like say I have a bill coming up, rent. So it's either I have a show coming up on Saturday. Well, this really happened when I was first having to rebrand myself. I have an event. We'll do it this time because SneakerCon's happening this Saturday. So it's the 24th and 25th of SneakerCon, right? Yeah. Then you have month due on the 1st. On the 1st. So I would have to invest those $600 for those 2 tables, plus having to restock inventory, not knowing if I'm selling it or not, but I know I'm going to sell something. So rather than paying that $2,000 rent, I would invest those $2,000 in product and tables and all that
for Saturday.
And the people that I need to pay to do the shows for those days. Where I would have to cut it close to invest in that because I know I'm going to get that money and then I can put it for the rent. Put it back rather than just doing it straight to the rent.
That makes sense. I get what you're saying.
So I've had those close encounters restarting myself because I literally, I had to max out all my credit cards and rebrand and everything, man. Make new account, business checking account, credit accounts, all that, man. So,
I mean, but look where you're at now, bro. Yeah. I mean, like we said earlier, you had to go through that again to see if you could do it again.
Yeah.
And I mean, bro,
okay.
like that's
But,
like, yeah.
So,
I get it.
I have a lot of ADHD. I have to tell myself to go back. Why was I talking about it? But Uncut Gems is how that it's just a lot going boom, 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 boom type of thing. So that's how I related with the movie, and also too, he got that rock smuggled in hopes that he would get that much money.
Yeah,
and he didn't. So that's where it comes back into think about.
And then he died.
The business.
yeah,
and then
no.
he died. And then don't even talk about that anyway.
Yeah, but the whole part that he died was just a symbol to
That
like
whole
his
thing was just
greed.
because he was a gambling guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
he got greedy. And he got that was the third. I was like, there's a third thing that I could relate or I can see when it relates. Greed.
Yeah,
Greed.
for sure. Yeah, that's where it killed
Greed.
him. If he wasn't so greedy, he would have been good.
The jewelry industry is very greedy.
Yeah, I can see
very,
that.
very, 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 very greedy. And it's like I could be that way too, but that's just not me. You know, I gotta make my money. I gotta make my profit. I gotta, have enough to not only just live, but to pay my expenses and to grow. So
here's a question. So, is your business structured LLC, and then you get like you pay yourself, right, and you get a deposit, or how does it work? How does that whole system work?
Yeah. I normally just because I have the business account, I just basically just transfer money into my account to put that as a log. But I pay myself minimal. It is more stuff. There's some some business hacks.
How are you paying yourself like monthly, weekly, bi-weekly, or how does that work?
Weekly.
Oh, okay.
Weekly.
Okay.
But it's nothing compared to what the movies, the amount of money that's moving through the business. Me looking at whatever I'm paying myself, it really doesn't matter. Because like how I told you, I was like iffy about investing the $500 on just to start the business. I was like skeptical, bro. I had to spend at least like whenever I go get new suppliers, at least $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, and that's on a light order. One of the biggest bulk orders I've did was $25,000.
Sheesh,
So just imagine.
I would have been scared. Like, man, if this order don't come in, I'm screwed.
And that's the thing. And there's times where things don't come in time. Like I'm telling you, like the bracelets that I ordered, I need them by Saturday, and I don't think I'm gonna get them by then. So that's already how much I spend on that. I think $1,500.
And you're way, and that it's like you said. Now you're delayed on that money. That what if rent was due on Monday? And you're like, damn it, I needed those so that once I could get them on Saturday, I could try to sell through them, get that rent money by Monday.
Exactly.
And now it's just too much extra stuff.
Exactly. That's a lot of things that people don't see. It's like I'll be telling people, man, it's stressful, especially because, and I'm trying not to make it sound negative, but just think, okay, so for like a t-shirt brand, right? They invest in shirts. They get whatever, 30 shirts for like, let's say $500, right?
It's $20 a shirt.
$20
No,
a
wait,
shirt.
actually, no. Is it? Yeah.
I'm just saying the overall $500. $500, that's most of the time one piece of jewelry for me, like type of thing, So they could sell so many of those little small ones. I'm investing that same amount on one piece.
One big one.
And I had to have a storefront. I had to have a layout because people want that instant gratification.
The capital up front is what you need.
Yep. So that's where it's, and like I said, I'm not dogging on the biz, but I have higher risks into it. And because people want to, yes, there is higher profit margins to it, but you got to take higher risks. The bigger the risk, the bigger the reward is how it goes, type of thing.
Facts, bro. That's for sure.
But then that's where the greed comes in, and people just other jewelers just tax and charge way higher than what they should. So.
Right.
No,
we're good, bro. I got Vic outside waiting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got you. Bet.
Cool.
All right, sounds good. We're gonna wrap this one up. Go ahead.
Hold on, go ahead.
Oh, we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
All right, appreciate everybody for tuning in to this next episode of Direct Discussions. Appreciate our guest today, Miggi the Jeweler. If you need a personal jeweler, let him be your guy. He will inform you on whatever you need to know. Just know what you're wanting beforehand, and if you don't, he's gonna inform you.
Yep.
Appreciate it, guys. We'll see you in the next episode of Direct Discussions. See you next time.
And if you made it this far, make sure you vote Direct Discussions Podcast for Podcast of the Year. We're going to put the link in the description. Make sure you go there, vote us Podcast of the Year. Until next time, guys.
See ya.